Hey y'all. Hope y'all are doing well today. Um, I know y'all like, what does she be looking at? I'm looking at my timing. See how much time I got. Cause this video gonna have some length on it. I took notes for you all for this. I'm so excited to share this. I took notes for this video. Um, this past Saturday, we had a memorial service for my Aunt Jeanette that passed away in 2020 during COVID. When she passed away, they did a graveside service. Number one, it was supposed to have been 50 people at the graveside, only 50 people at the graveside service. And she was, her grave is at the bottom of a hill. And y'all can look up and see all the people. This is more than 50 people. We is about to get kicked out of here. Nevertheless, they have the memorial service on Saturday, and it was so great to see so many friends and family, and literally people you have not seen in, when I say a long time, a very, very long time. There was a man there named John Sherrill. John Sherrill? I think it's John Sherrill. I haven't seen John since he had this big old afro. And John is completely bald. And so Mama was like, you know what that is? I was like, no. She was like, that's John Sherrill. I was like, I ain't seen John since he had this big old afro. Anyway, y'all, it was so, so wonderful. So many people were like, Nitra, oh, thank you so much for what you be saying on your videos. Y'all know I don't do videos every day. It's just whenever I feel like something. I felt like this. When I was sitting there, I'm pulling out my picture. When I was sitting there, I was like, I got to take notes because they need to hear this stuff. It was so amazing. So amazing. Number one, we get started, and at the very beginning of the service, during the opening prayer, it was at church, during the opening prayer, I immediately started crying uncontrollably. Tears was everywhere. And I was just like, oh my God. And I don't have no tissue because my plan was not to cry because this is not supposed to be sad. And it wasn't sad. It was just thinking about her they just flooded out, which was great because I got them all out and I can enjoy the rest of the service. It was a musical. And I know saying, like, what is a musical? Well, when we were younger, we used to go to like anniversary programs or musicals, and people would come and they would bring their group and they would do an A and a B selection. That means 1 and 2. You would do 2 selections. Now, if you was fancy, you might do like 2.5 because you might do like an intro song to introduce y'all voices, and then y'all say, nevertheless, an A and B selection, and that's what they did. They sung 2 songs apiece, and it was a couple of groups, maybe 4 or 5 groups. And so they got started, and the the master of ceremony was my Uncle Chucky. So I don't know if y'all know anything about my Uncle Chucky. When I was a little girl, at St. Mark, we used to get happy and shout and stuff, but the first time I saw Uncle Chucky shout, I don't know what y'all be doing on these videos. Now, some of y'all be getting it, but Uncle Chucky was getting it. I used to love it. Even to this day, Uncle Chucky, you gonna shout? It was just so great. It was such an exciting moment. So I see Uncle Chucky getting ready to be the master of ceremonies. I was like, oh, we about to have a time. Anyway, so the first group comes up. They do their first song. They do their second song. Their second song is sung by the pastor of their church. The church is Big Pineville AME Zion Church. And I don't know this lady's name, but as the 47-year-old Nitra, looking at her, y'all, I am a Libra. I do a lot of overthinking. And what I mean is why, how, what, like in everything, which is why it takes me so long to make decisions, because I am literally breaking it down in my mind. So she's a pastor of a church, and I think about, patriarchy and just the times that we live in, and her being able to have so much strength and poise. You should have seen, she was a beautiful woman, statuesque lady. And she had on this black and white dress that just hit her knee. maybe right above her knee, because she sung a song, and I can't remember the name of it, but she stepped in the water. Well, I stepped in the water, yeah, yeah, and the water was cold, yeah, yeah. I can't remember. That might not even been the song, but she definitely stepped in the water. And y'all, she was sticking her foot out there, and she was stepping in that water. James Adams is on this side of me, and his daddy is on this side of me. His daddy says, I don't know who next, but they better bring it, because she's stepping in that water. I was like, this is not a competition. James Adams says, well, who's next? Because they got to really do something. I said, do y'all have the same mind? What is happening? So they sung their song. The next group, if I can remember, it was Hood Memorial. Was it Hood Memorial? I want to think it was Hood Memorial. And they were more choir. And they got up, and their harmonies were so magnificent, y'all. And it's just, I don't get to sing with a choir anymore. So I love choir music. I love being a part of choir. I love just that we're the harmony, the modulations, the breakdown. So anyway, they sung choir music, and it was wonderful. So the next group that gets up is the Kirkpatrick Singers. I think it was Kirkpatrick Singers. And me and my sister were talking, we don't particularly remember them. I do remember faces, but we used to go to their church, which was called Sinfield, and we would sing with their children, because we would go on children choir anniversary, and we would sing with their kids. But I think her name is Miss Barbara. James Adams says, is that Jackie Harry? You should have seen her. Miss Barbara's beautiful woman. All this hair and this makeup. I was like, no, that's not Jackie Harry. But she does, definitely favors her. So that was so cute. They sing a song, God's Grace. God's grace. I made it this far by the grace of God. I was like, oh, I love that song. It's been so long. When people can come back and they can sing songs that just give you, you just be like, I just feel so great. That was a song they sung. That was great. I can't remember what episode. I might have missed St. Mark. I can't remember, but I got to talk about St. Mark. St. Mark, the church gets up and they sing. It's 4 ladies singing, but one in particular is a cousin of mine. Her name is Valencia. Valencia and I have some years between us, so I didn't really grow up with Valencia. However, Valencia sings a song, and I have no idea what song it was, but the way that she sung the song makes us all the same age. At this point in our lives, I'm 47. We've been through some stuff, and like, nobody can tell you anything different. I don't care how it works. I don't care what you do to make it fit. You know that it is God's grace that helps you to get, and that's the way she sung that song. That girl sung, I said, oh, she done been through something, and she done came out on the other side. And that's the way that sang, girl, sang. That was it. And I was like, you look at people a lot of times, and you have no idea what they're going through. And it was one of the things that really stood out for me. Just, it kept coming up as a theme in this whole thing. We all are here together. We all are going through the same stuff. It might not be at the same time. It may not even be specifically the same situation, but it ends up being all the same stuff. That is why we have to figure out a way to give people grace. And I get it. It's just in us to want to know. Well, maybe it's not in y'all to want to know. It's definitely in Nietzsche want to know, because she is observant and nosy. But at this point, I want to know, because I want to have the question, I have the conversation of, it's like this, why? So that we can help our next generation not have to go through some of those things. We can turn some of that stuff around if we are talking about what we've been through and how we've been able to make it. That's one of the major things that Aunt Jeanette and I would talk about. And she would talk about some, why decisions were made, and how she probably wouldn't do it that way because she knows this and because she knows that. It was great. It was great. But she sung that song. Valencia, rocked that. I got stepped in the water. Miss Daisy. I don't know Miss Daisy, and I don't know Miss Daisy's mama, but they talked about her embodying her mama's spirit. Miss Daisy gets up here and is playing the lead guitar. You hear me when I say? She got on this black hat. What is the hat? What's the hat's called? I can't remember. It's got the silver zigzag across the band. I'll think of the name of the hat when I get off this video. She playing that guitar. When I went to college, I dated a guy that played guitar. And he played guitar, and his brother played guitar, and his other brother played drums, and they had they were a quartet group. But prior to meeting them, I had seen people playing it, but I had never been that close to anybody. Even my daddy played guitar when I was, but not at that moment all the time. But he tells, we're getting ready to go. We're gonna have practice. I go home with him, and they're gonna have practice. And I was like, what this about to be? They played. I got an appreciation for being able to play by ear. And I believe that was Miss Daisy. It was definite. She said, oh, it's just Jesus. I said, no, ma'am, it's not just Jesus. Because you would have to say yes to that. And she looked at me and she said, you know what? You're right. I said, I am right. You still are going to have to say yes. Whatever the situation is, whatever it is that you've been called to do or you want to do, you still have to say yes. You still have to reach out and get it. And she got it, y'all. She was playing that thing. Her and her sister was playing the bass, and they was getting it. I'm talking about Purple Rain style. It was, the whole event was such a joyous event. It was so much fun. We get up there, and we, as in the family, Cup family, so everybody who's ever sung Cup family, and we get up there and we sing, and they put Miss Sassafras in the front in a chair. Now, who is Miss Sassafras? My grandmother, 94 years old, and she's going to sing a song about joy. I'm a choir singer. I told y'all that, so I know about singing, and the leader gets real happy with the ad-libs, and that song continues on. I know all about that. However, it's been a long time since I had to do that. And I sing. Like, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to be the background singer that you need. That's for everybody. So if you got us up there singing for 10 minutes, I'm going to give it to you for 10 minutes. My family has stopped singing behind me. I said, what y'all doing? Y'all just not going to sing no more? Cool was singing. Me and Cool was getting it. Granny found all the joy. The vamp of the song, Georgia, 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 Georgia. This is what we're doing. Clapping and joy-joying. Daddy goes and rubs her back. That's your cue. That's your cue, lady. That's your cue to cut the song off. She said, oh, that's how I'm doing. She went up a lot. She took it up an extra notch. I said, Granny's trying to take us out. It was hot. We come together and it gets warm. That's just what we do. We bring on the warmth, and then they turned the air on after we got there. Because it's freaking February. Who thinks you need air? Yeah, we needed it, but it was fine. I was like, yeah, this is what we used to sit in hot churches all the time. Like the whole atmosphere was exactly as it should have been. They talked about, as people got up and talking, the Williams family got up and sung too, and Scooter, which is his grandfather, was my first pastor that I can remember, Reverend Williamson, and Reverend Williamson would always have juicy fruit gum, freaking juicy fruit. I would just never, certain things you just never forget, and he would always have gum to give us, juicy fruit gum. He sang the song. Sir, wait a minute. Got to find my Lord register. Sign me up. Sign me up for the Christian Jubilee, honey. And write my name on the road. I mean, it was so much fun. It was great. It was just absolutely great. I remember my Aunt Jeanette being just somebody that embodied truth. I think that's probably the best thing for me. Jeanette was married 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. For sure twice, maybe 3 times. And I think that we have gotten to the point, we've picked up stuff from people and their things. And when it comes to love, we have a problem with people that love hard. I'm a hard lover. And I had to understand that and had to figure it out. I'm not apologizing for who Nitra is ever again. And that is just off the memory of my aunt. Standing in who you really are helps so many people. Y'all, you would not, the people, they talked about her the same way she was with me, she was with everybody else. Like, if you met her, this is what you're going to get. And I think that's where I get it from. I get a lot of that. You know, I'm the cousin, the kissing cousin now. Give me some kisses, give me some huggies. It is what it is. It doesn't make sense for anything else. Love is all that we have at this point. And that's just for everybody. Of course, we come to decisions, and my aunt was like this too. Listen, if you don't want to be a part of this, you don't want to be a part of this love and this wonderfulness of family and richness, then bye. But you know, she had a little bit more grace than I do. I ain't got a whole lot of grace for it. If you don't want it, then you ain't got to have it. You know, she might try to fight for you. I ain't fighting for you. You can have it. Just take it. But I ain't about to fight to give it to you. She was a little bit different. Which, you know, she got her walk and Nitra got hers too. Jeanette used to make ice cream. One of the ladies brought, I think it was Miss Daisy brought that up. She had this ice cream and it was homemade ice cream. And she said it was dairy free. And I said, it's made with oat milk. And she just looked at me. It's made with almond milk. And she just looked at me. It's made with rice milk. And I think her eyebrow went up one time. So y'all, I might have at least the base to the recipe. But I don't know. The last couple of family functions, my Aunt Viv has made it, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very, very similar. I don't taste anything different. So I don't know if she actually has the recipe. I wouldn't be surprised. Because Aunt Jeanette was a sharer like that. She was a giver. She shared information, you know. She was a cook, like, to her heart. And she was a recipe person. She wanted to figure it out. And she wanted to really get her hands in it and explore it. And, you know, and I think that's the same thing that I want to do, but just in different terms, you know. I went to school for sociology, and I have realized that I am the biggest sociologist that I know when it comes to people's lives. When it comes to people's lives and, you know, how they function and, you know, what around them has them doing the stuff that they do, and being in this place of empathy with people and understanding and acknowledgement. And I just think that's where we should all be. If that's not your walk, then that's not your walk. But, you know, don't treat nobody else bad when your walk is happening. That's all. That's all we saying. But anyway, it was great. It was such a wonderful experience. It was wonderful to see everybody. It was like one of those things where your heart just gets overjoyed and you don't really know what to do with all of it, because you see all these people you haven't seen, and you look at people and you said, dang, everybody is just living. Like, we're just here living. And your best bet is to treat people right and speak over yourself positively and, you know, make it happen. And you'll get it. You'll get there. You'll get all the things. And, For me, all the things are, love and freedom, peace, freedom, freedom. I have a whole, freedom is my thing. I need to be able to spread my wings and fly away. I can't be trapped, and that's in nothing. So, here's to you, Aunt Jeanette. We love you so much, and you gave us such a great experience to be able to have on Saturday, and it was wonderful. So anyway, y'all drop down in the comments and tell people, because I know y'all watching, how much y'all enjoyed Saturday's experience. It was wonderful. Bye, y'all.